Ever wondered what's a cannabis plant's favorite crime show? It's Law and Amp Order Special Weed Unit. Now, speaking of crime, let's dive into a shocking case that has been making headlines. Today, we're discussing the case of Bryn Spejcher, a woman who's been charged with the murder of her boyfriend. The twist? Bryn claims that a cannabis-induced psychosis led her to commit this horrific act. She confessed to stabbing her boyfriend and even her dog to death before turning the knife on herself. Now, this claim of cannabis-induced psychosis has led to her charges being downgraded to manslaughter, a decision backed by the district attorney's psychiatrist. But the question is, can cannabis really induce such a violent psychotic episode? So is cannabis-induced psychosis real? Could it have driven Bryn to kill? Let's explore. To understand this case, we need to understand the relationship between cannabis and psychosis. You see, science tells us that while cannabis can indeed induce psychosis, it's a relatively rare occurrence. The connection between cannabis and violence is even more tenuous, making it extremely unusual for cannabis-induced psychosis to lead to violent behavior. Now, here's where things get a bit more complex. Those with a predisposition to psychiatric disorders, such as schizophrenia, might be at a heightened risk when using marijuana. This is because cannabis can exacerbate the symptoms of these conditions, potentially leading to a psychotic episode. Over the years, the potency of cannabis has significantly increased, which some believe may contribute to the risk of psychosis. However, it's important to note that this increase in potency does not necessarily correlate with an increase in violent behavior among users. So while cannabis can lead to psychosis in some cases, it's extremely rare for it to lead to violent behavior. But let's delve deeper into Bryn's case. Bryn's case has been a subject of intense debate. Was cannabis really to blame for her violent outburst? Bryn Spejcher stood in the courtroom faced with the weight of her actions. She was initially charged with murder, but the tables turned when her psychological evaluation came into play. The court took into account the claim that she experienced a psychotic episode allegedly triggered by smoking marijuana. The proceedings were not without their controversies. The district attorney's psychiatrist played a pivotal role, supporting her defense with their professional opinion. They argued that while it's extremely rare, cannabis can indeed cause psychosis, and this could have led to her violent episode. But could a puff of smoke truly turn a person into a killer? It's a question that left the courtroom and the world in a state of uneasy curiosity. The judge, however, seemed convinced. He approved the motion to reduce the charges from murder to manslaughter, a decision that stirred a pot of mixed reactions but ultimately set the tone for the rest of the trial. What followed was a series of back and forths, arguments and counter-arguments, but in the end, the verdict was in. Bryn was found guilty of manslaughter, a reduced charge that was both a relief and a point of contention for those following the case. Bryn's case is a reminder of the potential mental health risks associated with cannabis use, but remember, these instances are extremely rare. So, what's the takeaway from Bryn's tragic story? It's crucial to remember that while cannabis can trigger psychosis, it's extremely rare for it to lead to violence. The potency of cannabis has indeed increased since the 60s, which may contribute to the risk, but it's not the substance alone that's the issue. It's the interplay of personal mental health risk factors. This case underscores the importance of mental health awareness and caution when using substances like cannabis. For more info on this topic or to join our cannabis group on Facebook, check out the links in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe and smash the like button for more cannabis-related content.